Hey everyone, what's going on? It's your boy Krebsy Crypto, and for today's video, I just want to do something a little bit different. I just want to talk about what will happen after Ethereum 2.0 and like kind of my thoughts and opinions on this whole situation. I know it's a different type of video compared to like my tutorials and such, but I just wanted to change it up a bit so we can have a different style of video. So sit back, relax, and feel free to comment below along in the video here and give me your thoughts and opinions on things I say as well, because I want like the community to be involved. I want to see people's opinions on this as well, because it's a big like move in the crypto industry. So for those of you who don't know, Ethereum is supposed to be upgrading come June of 2022 to Ethereum 2.0. So a little background behind that. Initially slated for a 2019 release, Ethereum's 2.0's first phase launched on December 1st of 2020. However, with two phases still to go, the full release is not estimated to happen until later in 2023. The next step in Ethereum's upgrade is to merge the mainnet with Ethereum 2.0's beacon chain, enabling full staking. So there's a full upgrade happening over like a certain amount of years, but this next one happening in 2022 is Ethereum 2.0, and that's gonna pretty much disable the mining of Ethereum as a whole and pretty much bring in staking as a way of, I guess, mining and such. So this update is going to be like the big shakeup for the crypto market, because as you know, as I've stated many times in other videos, Ethereum is the main go-to for most people. But I, like myself, I'm not a huge fan of Ethereum or anything like that. But I just want to make this video because in overall like retrospect, it's going to affect even us small miners, either in a good way or a bad way. But I'll be getting into that. I have a whole bunch of notes and points here that I want to go over. I'm going to try to make this kind of like a fun video, just relaxing. So sit back and relax and let's get right into it here. So my first point here I kind of want to talk about is just kind of my opinion on Ethereum 2.0 and like how I think and like a theory, because I have like mixed feelings about this whole Ethereum 2.0 type of thing, because like the backbone of Ethereum is miners, and in a way I feel like they're turning their back on the miners, because you can't really say we don't need the miners, because we are the backbone of the crypto industry. We're the reason why half of these coins are where they are, because of like mining and such. We're the reason why like these coins kind of got started, because you needed to mine these things to earn these coins and kind of make them have value, and you're also mining for like transaction verification. You know, just the whole backbone of the blockchain itself is just done by like mining and things like that. So like I'm just curious why they're switching to proof of stake. My theory is just because of like, I know it's been like an implemented upgrade they wanted to do for a while, but I feel like it's kind of been like a big noted thing as of late because of mainstream news and such, because apparently like POW or proof of work is such like a bad thing to do. It's bad for the environment. Meanwhile, we all know statistically that like mining itself doesn't take up that much of like the resource issue. If you look at one of my previous videos, I've talked about Bitcoin mining and the actual energy impact it has, and it's literally 0.01% of emission. There's other bigger issues, and I feel like we actually have to go in and fix the source of the issue and switch to like green energy more so, instead of like switching to this proof of stake. I know with time and things we advance and new technology comes out, but why don't we actually fix the main source of the issue, which is energy, and switch to green energy? So we could use green energy to mine, so everybody wins. The environment's a little easier, miners can continue going on, and try, instead of trying to switch all these coins to proof of stake and in theory kicking out all these original miners, because we started like the backbone of cryptocurrency in theory. But that's just like my thought on it, like my whole thought process. Like I said, I'm more of less like a mixed emotion towards it. Like I get it, it's good for the environment, and I'm all for trying to help and save the environment. But like we actually have to go to the root of the issues instead of sitting here and trying to beat around the bush. Because now I feel like, I don't know how to word it, you're financially incentivized with Ethereum for it to be like mineable. So in other words, you have to set a certain amount of money inside to go ahead and mine it, where like I get it's the same aspect with graphics cards and such, because you have to buy graphics cards and things, but then I'm allowed to go and change my algorithm. I can change my coins, I can change my profit margins if I want. Let's say with Ethereum 2.0, you have to put in a certain amount of money to stake, and say Ethereum goes through a bad run and some people can't handle just that financially. And if you want to support Ethereum but not in a financial way, how else are you supposed to do it now? Because now there's only staking option. You can't go ahead and mine. I know you can like mine other coins and convert to it and such, but still direct mining is always like the best way in my opinion, because you're taking out that market fee and like the whole conversion rate and things like that. But then if we kind of step back and say, okay, wait, if Ethereum is removing all of its miners, where is this all mining power and all this going to go? Like, what's going to happen? A lot of people have questions about that, and that kind of leads to like my next point. It's the thoughts on the crypto market after Ethereum 2.0 and like how it's going to affect all the different coins. This is just like my take on it. Obviously, don't like go ahead and just directly listen to my advice. I'm kind of just rambling because it's kind of been a thought on my mind. I'm pretty sure a lot of miners on what's going to happen after Ethereum 2.0. So I'm just kind of doing this so we can kind of talk as a community and kind of come to a consensus and see what you guys are even thinking, what coins you guys are going for, and things like that. So I feel like at first it's going to be a big solid switch to one main coin. And that being said, like the reason behind that is because with like ASIC and Ethereum miners, there's also the original fork of Ethereum Classic a lot of people forget about. And I feel like that's just going to be the default a lot of these ASICs and these big miners are going to switch to just for the time being until they settle down and figure things out. But that being said, there also could be like a big fluctuation, a big jump in other coins, because you might get a handful of miners or one big mining facility trying their luck on other coins and profitability there. There's still a lot of like uncertainty there when it comes to like what direct coins actually going to happen, because there's a lot to take into account when it comes to the actual algorithm and all these miners jumping to one network, dispersing the network hash rate properly. Can these networks handle it? Will profitability still be there? There's a lot of different things that run through the mind. And with this type of thing, it's you can't really predict it. Like I said, you can't go literally ask every miner what they're going to do, because some ideas and thoughts might change day to day with some of these bigger miners and things like that. So trying to like sit here and guess what exactly is going to happen is sure, because I've even heard this could kill mining as a whole, but I don't feel like that's going to be a thing, because there's going to be other people like me that still believe in the proof of work theory and the actual backbone of the blockchain. So that type of thing you can't really predict in the crypto market. You can't predict a lot of things in the crypto market. You've even seen people with like the full-on analyst tools try to predict coin breakouts and things, and that just doesn't work out. The crypto market does what it wants, and we kind of just have to sit and wait and see where the hash rate and power is really going to go. I can't give you a straight answer on that. I'm just saying, I'm just guessing off of like my thought process behind this and the research I've done. Just because Ethereum Classic being like the original Ethereum per se, it's going to be easy switch for a lot of these miners at first. But then I feel like over time you're going to see them start venture out into other types of coins. Also though, another like thought that I had was we could see a lot of like the original miners. So like the people that started with Ethereum, I think Ethereum started like 2010 or a little bit after, whatever time frame it started. Like I said, I'm not huge on Ethereum, so I haven't paid huge attention to it. But we could see a big sell-off of Ethereum, let's say, because all these miners have been collecting it, holding it for so long, and they feel like maybe this is a peak, or they just don't want to deal with this POS type of thing. Or we could see them actually start selling off their rigs because they just don't want to go through this hassle of switching over to different algorithms, trying to find the proper coin. So you can see a lot of rigs start to sell off. You could see coin like Ethereum maybe sell off, but at the same time you could see a lot of miners also go the route of using the coins for the actual proof of stake, because with staking and like proof of stake, you have to put a certain amount, so it's going to be a minimum you have to put in, and then you're able to earn interest, I believe, or a certain percent back every time, and that helps support like the node and the network, and it's like the new way of mining. And then like I lightly mentioned on just before, will these other coins even handle it and be valuable during it, even with Ethereum Classic, because it's had its 51% attacks a lot of the time. A lot of miners might jump to one pool, and that might cause just a huge attack on Ethereum Classic, and that could possibly not work out, and there could be a whole lot of different scenarios you could sit here and run through. You always have to remember, when a huge fluctuation of people come onto the network, you're always going to get less of a share depending on your power rate. So if like, let's say I'm sitting at home here mining with like 3 gigabyte cards on an algorithm, and all of a sudden this big mining facility comes along and throws all their like 8 gigabyte cards on this algorithm, I'm obviously going to make a lot less because they're going to take more of the hash rate, more of the earnings. So you got to take a lot of those things into play. But this leads me into like my next point on like which coins to actually focus on. I have a list of coins to sit here and kind of go through and focus on ones that I'm going to be paying attention to within this Ethereum 2.0 change. And like I said, you don't have to sit here and listen to me and say these are the guaranteed coins that are going to take off. I'm just going by our lower end spectrum and the recent push of these lower end cards and ones that are kind of like Ethereum in a way, but are also better alternatives when it comes to like pricing, when it comes to the blockchain, when it comes to speed, processing, and things. They're already ahead of Ethereum on what they're trying to do. And that's why a lot of these updates for Ethereum are trying to be pushed out, because you have coins like Matic or Polygon, the same thing there. And then you have Solana, things like that, have already done what Ethereum was supposed to be doing a while ago. But the main coins I want to focus on are actual mineable coins, not ones you have to convert to, because like I said, the hash rate is going to go somewhere. Either half of it sells off and only half of it comes over. Like I said, I can't sit here and determine what everyone's going to do. I'm not a mind reader, because opinions and things are going to change over these few months, because it's not slated, I believe, to happen until May or June of June 2022. So there's not even an exact date, and it still could be pushed off more. Now the coins that I'm going to be paying attention to, and these are kind of like the order I'm going to be putting them in, so like first to last here. So the first one obviously is Ethereum Classic. Like I said, my prediction is a lot's going to be shifting towards that at first, just as a default. And then you kind of have Flux and Ergo for like a tight second. Flux being like a very profitable, good, low like power consumption coin. But then you bring in Ergo into the play, and they have more, I guess you could say, utility. They've gone a little further than what Flux has so far recently when it comes to like updates in their roadmap and things. And the Ergo algorithm, they recently went through an update of Auto Lycos 2, so it's even easier on the graphics cards and less power consumption there. And then the next one I have is Conceal, so CCX. So Conceal, like I've mentioned in my recent video, is a very like less power intensive. It's still kind of newer, it's lower priced, but it's very, very profitable, and it has a lot of features that, you know, are intriguing in a way. Like it's Ethereum, but in the best of both worlds situation. So you can mine Conceal directly, and then also put it away for interest. So you can kind of do like the staking feature, but also mine the coin. And then last but not least is Raven at coin. And the reason why I have this kind of last on the list is just the high power consumption and the high temperatures, especially for the time being. If this switch happens in June, let's say, and let's say there's a handful of miners in Canada here. It's a very hot time in Canada, so we're not going to be wanting to use like Kapow and higher end algorithms that are going to be producing higher heat. We want to go for ones that are using less power consumption, that are more profitable and producing less heat. And that's why I say it's kind of good for us lower end miners, because there's only a handful of proof of work algorithms left, and those tend to be directed towards lower end graphics cards, because Ethereum has been the dominant one. Yes, we're going to have a lot of power shifting over to these. That's why I say there's a lot of uncertainty. But even if you've been mining Flux, Ergo, or any of these in the past like few years, and let's say you've been saving them up and just hanging on to them and building them up, and let's say there's a huge push for Flux and the price ends up taking off for Flux, it could also drop. But let's say the price goes up, you could decide, know what, I'm just going to sell my bag at the high run of these, because after the Ethereum switch here, we could have a huge run of these lower end coins. They could also crash, they could go up, they could go down. There's many different scenarios, and I'm not here to give you an answer. I'm just kind of going over, like I said, my thoughts and opinions on all of it. But yeah, it's going to be hard to truly judge what's going to happen. I'm just kind of, like I said, going off power consumption in a profit type of way. But it could be good for us like budget miners with lower GPUs. Like I said, possibly price pumps, and there could be some stability with some of our 3 gigabyte coins, like our 3 gigabyte GPU mineable coins and algorithms. It could kind of help it stabilize, give a pump, stabilize, and then pump again, you know. It could help move the actual network and gain interest in it again. So if you have a chance, you could sell off, or you could just keep hanging on if you believe in the project. So there's a lot of different scenarios to take into account here. And kind of like the last thing this kind of leads to is like the last thing I want to touch on is, are we going to see an overall cheaper market for graphics cards or miners and things like that? And I feel like mainly yes, we're going to see more so a cheaper market, because a lot of these miners, like I said, with Ethereum, and even when it comes to like Bitcoin, this is obviously not affecting Bitcoin, but there's a lot of OG miners. So a lot of people have been doing this from the start, and a lot of people have just been dedicating their time and making huge profits, and have been starting out and going through these huge bull runs, selling off, big things like that. So we can see a lot of these miners finally step away, because there's like, I don't want to sit here and worry about going through these different coins, switching my algorithms now, because like I said, there's going to be a lot of fluctuation. So it's kind of like a yes and no, but I'm leaning more towards yes, because we're going to see more people, I feel like, in a sense, dropping out of mining, because they just don't want to put up with this headache. But like I've said, it's also going to bring in new people like myself. I'm fairly new to mining for a few years now, and I'm going to take this opportunity possibly to go ahead and swipe up a bunch of cheap graphics cards, if that's the route it ends up going, because I want to build up like a huge mining rig, a huge mining facility in a sense. Because when other people's opportunities, fall, I'm just going to jump on that. If you don't want to take that chance, I will. Because you have to take chances with things. That's a lot with crypto, you know what I mean? And like my reasoning for like the no on the cheaper graphics cards is because I could feel like people could be trying to sell their rigs to kind of overprice them, so they can make as much as possible to stake or whatever with Ethereum, so they could help with the mining. And that's, like I said, the new way of mining. So they want as much money as possible to get as much Ethereum, so in a sense they could stake and gain even more. It's all a profit game. And yes, I know in a sense this proof of stake thing is going to open up the door to new set of miners and new ability, new access for people that weren't able to get graphics cards or have the power and such. But then you're kicking out a whole start of like miners and such, or you know what I mean? You're closing a door but opening another one, but I don't know if it's going to work out. There's a lot of ifs, ands, and buts still going on about it here. But yeah, overall, like I said, I feel like it's just a huge shift for the market. Either it be good or bad. It's kind of like a waiting game, as most things are with the crypto market. It's not going to be predictable on like what's going to happen. I just feel bad because like they're turning back. They're back on the original miners and such, but I get the whole energy switch. But there's going to be a whole possibility for us newer miners and lower end miners even, because it's going to open up kind of a whole new world when it comes to mining and the crypto and the proof of work and what's going to be profitable or not. But there's going to be a lot of questions more than answers right now. I just like want to say you're going to want to have a selection of coins ready for this day, or if it doesn't get pushed back, even then there still might be a push for other coins. Even if it does get pushed back, people still might dip out and start going to other coins or selling off. There's a lot of ifs, ands, and buts. I'm not here to give answers. I just kind of wanted to ramble on and kind of put my thoughts into the community, and then you guys can go ahead and comment down below and take in things I've said, and either reply with your own thoughts on what's going to happen, what coins you're going after, what coins you have holding on to. Because like I said, I'm against Ethereum. I haven't really ever mined it. I haven't really bought it or anything like that. In a sense, I'm like, okay, cool, they truly, they wanted to change this, whatever, get them out of here, get like Ethereum out of here, and us miners will just take over a new project, I guess. But for some people, this is a huge bullish move, and it's going to launch Ethereum to whole new levels. But I feel like when you piss off a lot of people in the community, you're going to have a lot of backs turned to you as well. So when you turn your back on that community, there's going to be consequences, I feel. But yeah, like I said, let me know in the comments below your thoughts, your opinions on like this type of thing, Ethereum going to 2.0, your thoughts on the staking, your thoughts on what coins are going to take off. Feel free to, and if you did enjoy this type of video, let me know, because I will make more of these type of videos. And if you did enjoy, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. But that's all I got for you guys today, and this is Krebsy Crypto signing out.